Hey everybody, Eve loves BC fans, and I'm sorry about all the noises. It's just I'm trying to plug my iPad in while filming this or recording it, whatever. But I just made a creepypasta OC, and her name is Sugar Skull. I will be telling her backstory in my next video, but in this video, she is going to be telling one of her stories on what she thought about Game Academy and her experience with her stalker. Okay, so this is a disclaimer. None of this actually happened to the creator of this video because I'm 11, moving on to 12 years old, and so none of this happened to me. But I made up this story mainly for this character named Sugar Skull. Again, I'll be telling her backstory in the next video. And so I'm going to be role-playing as her, telling the story. So I'm just going to say, she's going to talk to you. And so yeah. I don't have an accent for her, so I'm just going to be talking like my regular self until I get an accent for her. Let's get started. So, in Game Academy, me first going there, I, didn't really think much about it. I'm a creepypasta character, so I took most of the horror classes. And just because you're in one game or show or horror story, it doesn't mean you can't interact with other games. And so, there was this guy, I'm pretty sure he was from Gasterlust. And he would always follow me around. I didn't really think much about it because of the certain game he was from. But then I started getting suspicious because everywhere I was, he was too. And I made some friends. I made 3 friends, Calibri, Maeve, and Rosetta, and they were all really nice to me, and they also had bad feelings about this guy. We talked about it. So one day I was in the cafeteria, or the auditorium, if you want to call it that, and I was sitting down, and I was playing on my phone, and I was also talking to Rosetta, and she was right next to me. And so this guy that I had this weird feeling about walks up and sits at the same table. And I look up, I see him, and I don't really mind. I look back down at my phone, and then he says, "Hey you, what's your name?" I thought he was talking to Rosetta at first, so I just ignored it. But seeing Rosetta look up and him not say anything alarmed me. And it let me know he was talking to me. And so I'm like, "Oh, my name's Sugar Skull." And he smiles, and he goes, "So you're made of sugar?" And I look at him like, "What? No. I'm not. And I sigh, and he's just staring at me with this grin, and I'm like, "What are you doing? What? No." 'Cause I'm not really used to guys flirting with me. Besides Joff PJ, I'm also going to be telling the story about him. He's a real asshole. Especially to Maeve and Calibri. But I tapped Rosetta on the shoulder, trying not to let the guy know that I wanted to move, but I tapped her on the shoulder, and my phone was under the table, so I typed in what I was saying to her, and she was like, "Okay, we'll move tables." And so we got out, and it was already time for recess, so we went into the yard under this really big tree that we like to sit under. And I see this guy all the way from across the playground, or the yard, just staring at me. And I didn't even know if it was me, because it was all the way across the yard, but he was just staring at me, and I'm like... So I go on the other side of the tree, where Maeve was sitting with her sugar daddy. I'm sorry. And so I sit next to them, and they know what I've been going through with this guy, and how he's in my business. No, I'm not going to do that. Cause before I became a creepypasta character, I was originally wanting to be in a horror story, and so I was watching stalker videos. And I know this experience from other people, and so I already know what's going to happen, and I need to prepare. So I start getting into conversations with more people, and technically I had a little friend group. Rosetta had friends too, like Lily and Jade, that I was really close to, too. And so at this point, this guy he kept watching me and staring at me, and I'm like, no, please, stop. And this guy was like, he was really tall. He was about as tall as my dad, and I'm very short. Like, I'm about as tall as a 10-year-old that's tall for her age. And so I was pretty short at that grade in Game Academy. And I'm freaking out, and oh no. I realized I left my phone in the yard. And I look around, and I don't see the guy, and I'm like, oh, he maybe left early. So I go out in the yard, and I see that guy by the tree trying to get inside of my phone. And I'm like, I don't even want to walk near that guy. So I back up, and I go inside the auditorium, and I tell Rosetta what just happened. And she's like, you need to move out schools. I'll get you a new phone, but you need to move schools. Sorry. And I tell her no, I moved to this school for a reason, and I would just ignore the guy. But I realized this guy was going through my phone, so he had all of his contacts probably listed down in his phone. My dad's, my mother's, my brother's, my sister's, my ex, and I'm like, oh shit, he has my phone number. And so I go back to the yard a few hours after that, and I see my phone sitting on the ground, and I don't even know if I want to pick up that phone, because he has my phone number. And so I get a new phone. Rosetta got me a new phone, and I got a new phone number to come with it. And then somehow he gets that phone number, and I don't know how. I think it was Jock PJ's work or Fell Pellet's work, because they're assholes towards me and everyone else. And he texts me at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning. It's just, I could die, but I can't because I'm already dead. So, I never want to interact with that guy. Besides this only day I ever talked to him, besides when I first met him, we were in class and we had an art project where we were put in groups. I was put in a group with that guy, Calibri, and Jock PJ. And technically the only one that was on my side right now was Calibri. Jock PJ and that guy, they didn't, like, that guy was my stalker, so of course he liked me. Jock PJ was one of my arch enemies. I'm getting sick just thinking about this. I can't. And so, no. Calibri was watching Jock PJ and that guy's every move, because Calibri thought of me as his girlfriend's best friend, so he kind of had to watch over me, even if he didn't want to. And I just found that to laugh at. Oh no, it's been 9 minutes already. Sorry guys. GTG, got to go. See you in the next video. Bye! Sugar Skull out.